Do you guys remember how cool GameStop used to be? For those of you who think what I just said there was a big load of doo-doo, just let me tell you, GameStop used to be the place to be. You see, back then, new releases were pretty awesome. A lot of people got excited for new releases, and GameStop was the place for those new releases. Steam was around back then, yes, but it really was the brick and mortar stores that were the cream of the crop. They were where all the cool kids went. GameStop midnight release of Halo 3, objectively the best game ever created. Can't beat it. Memories, man. Just had to be there. Game stores have mostly relegated themselves to selling older games and game paraphernalia, which is honestly pretty cool in my opinion. And honestly, this truly was for the best. There wasn't anything that these game stores could have done instead of just doing this. It looks like GameStop also finally hopped on the bandwagon after all the money they lost. They did make some money off some meme shit that happened a while ago, but that wasn't gonna last. And frankly, I really love these stores because they're the only place where I can actually go and get physical media. Of course, I could get it on eBay, but I like to go into a store, buy it, and just have it immediately. I don't know, there's something about it. And if you're like me, then I really don't have to explain game preservation to you. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of all digital materials. I think that games should be preserved. I believe that you should own what you buy. So this is a good way of me getting all of these older games before they're completely wiped off the face of the earth from online stores, like many of these games here. You see, they may be able to take them offline because of a licensing issue, but they can't take it off of a physical disc. If you had that puppy, you ain't losing it. And for me personally, every physical copy of something that I have, I would like to make a digital backup and preserve it. That way I always have it. And you should do that too. You actually don't share it. That's probably illegal. But if you wanted to share it, I mean, I'm not the police. I can't stop you. So today I am taking you on a little adventure to some of these game stores that I frequent pretty often in my quest to get every single Xbox game imaginable. Original Xbox. I haven't made it to 360 yet, just original Xbox. But before I do that, I'm getting pretty hungry. So let's mosey on over to the Panda Express. Kaylee, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It was a severe lapse of judgment. I was drunk. Wait, I just did it once, but it'll never happen again. I promise. It's a fairly cloudy day today and not a single wreck in sight. Normally, Texas drivers immediately decide to crash due to a single raindrop, so it was a pretty nice drive so far. Our first store is FX Games, which happens to have the better collection of games out of the two stores in my opinion. Of course, the only games that I care about primarily are the original Xbox games. And the prices are relatively decent for this store, like I found this copy of Manhunt with the original art insert in pretty good condition for $35. And normally it goes for around $40 online, and that's assuming you get a working copy that doesn't look like shit. Of course, they do offer games for lower prices if they're not in the original condition. I was going to get The Sims busting out until I realized it didn't have the original art insert. But hey, maybe for $7, that's not a big deal to you. But for me personally, I'd like to get it in the closest to original condition if I can. And there were a lot of really good games that were difficult to pass up on, like Dead or Alive Fan Service Volleyball Edition and Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1 and 2. Those two I really wanted. I did also pass up on Deus Ex Invisible War just because I've seen this game here in this location for roughly a year now, so I'll get it another time. No, I found something even better than Baldur's Gate or Deus Ex or a Dead or Alive Boob Edition. No, this was the greatest game to ever be released on the original Xbox. It was so good that I've never even heard of it. That's how good it was. It transcended reality to where not even I have heard of this masterpiece. I am, of course, talking about the Bible game. This game cost me $10. The funniest part about it is that it actually boasts music from the hottest Christian pop stars of the time. That including Toby Mac, Newsboys, Cutlass, Jeremy Camp, and more. I only know one of those, by the way. Now, reading this, you would think that this thing was just jam-packed full of Christian music, like you were about to praise Jesus and jam out, which is pretty awesome. But no, that's not how it is. There's only 6 songs. Each artist gets 1 song. Yes, that's correct. The "and more" part of that I just read out, "and more" only means 2 other artists. Anyways, if you want me to do a review on the Bible game, just let me know in the comments below and I'll force Haley to play it with me, because you can have up to 4 players with this thing, and you know I ain't doing this alone. The other games that I got were Brute Force, a game that I have played, and Jade Empire, a game that I have not played. From the developer of the 2003 Game of the Year, I wonder what masterpiece that could have been. Surely not one of the greatest pieces of Star Wars media in history. Surely not. But I ended up clowning on myself because it turns out that I actually already bought Jade Empire. Just the limited edition with the shiny red cover on it. So now I have 2 copies of Jade Empire. Awesome. Here recently, I've also began taking an interest in collecting PlayStation 2 games, but I have yet to actually purchase a PlayStation 2. And with the price tag being nearly $200, I really don't know if it's worth the money at the moment. But I did pay my respects to games like Oni, one of the 3 forgotten Bungie gems next to Myth and Marathon. Oh, you thought Siege or Madrigal was from Halo 3? I knew you weren't a real Halo fan. I knew where that came from. Do you think that's enough to get Marty to comment on this video? God, I hope so. One interesting thing I noticed is that they had Spider-Man 2000 for the PlayStation 1 locked up in a glass case with no price tag. Why did I mention that? Oh, that's right. It's because I've already played it and made a video on it, which you should definitely check out. So that was it for FX Games. A good trip as always. While they may have super expensive consoles, they make up for with their selection of games and the fact that they hooked me up with a better quality art insert for Brute Force. They didn't have to do that, but god damn it, I love them for doing it. Thank you so much for that. Around this time, it started to rain as I pulled up to my next destination, Game Exchange. This store is a completely different vibe from FX Games, purely because you're immediately hit with an almost overwhelming abundance of games and other nerd media like manga, toys, books, movies, you name it. This location even has an arcade machine and a place for you to play card games. I've never done that, but it's pretty dope that they have it anyways. The only downside of this place, in my opinion, is while they have a diverse selection in the stuff category, they don't really have a diverse selection of the games category, at least not original Xbox ones. Primarily, their shelves were stocked full of shovelware sports games or the original Splinter Cell. I'm guessing they keep a lot of Splinter Cells intact just in case people want to mod their original Xbox. Yeah, seriously, you need a copy of the original Splinter Cell to mod your original Xbox. It says it right here on the WikiHow article even. Another thing is their games seem to be of lower quality than FX Games, like this copy of Munch's Odyssey, which it just has a very sad art insert. Despite this, I did manage to find a few games that caught my eye, and by a few games, I mean 1 game and 2 games, not really games. The actual game being Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, sand not included.
I don't like sand.
The other ones are Xbox Music Mixer and Yourself Fitness. The biggest reason that I got this particular one is because Haley pointed it out at one time, I think last year, and surprisingly it's still here. I don't know how this is supposed to work. I'm curious to see what the karaoke is like and uploading your own media to it. Does it just scan the music and then just guess the I don't know. You know, I don't know how the karaoke is supposed to work. And for $4, I mean, what are you really losing? $4? Yourself Fitness is the wackiest purchase, and frankly, I'm having a very hard time believing in what it claims to have. It claims to have 500 unique exercises from yoga, Pilates, cardio fitness, strength training, flexibility, and weight loss routines, with no 2 workouts being the same due to it having dynamic routines. But perhaps the most unbelievable part of this is the claim of 4,500 recipes with a customizable meal plan, which is extremely shocking if true. I might have found the greatest piece of weight loss media this side of the hemisphere. Move over, P90X. Do people still do that? Is P90X still a thing? I am, however, not a fan of Maya, my uncanny personal trainer. You know, frankly, for 2004 standards, this is a pretty good render of her. I'm actually very impressed with this, but there's just something about her. She looked kind of creepy. I'm definitely going to be doing a long-term video on this just to see how good it is, so stay tuned for that. Finishing up my stay at Game Exchange, I actually saw a section purely for PC games, which is actually really cool, as I never see old PC games get enough attention in these stores. But then again, a lot of these you can just get for free elsewhere, cheaper on Steam. Like this game, The Arrangement on PC, which looks absolutely fucking terrible, and you know with 100% certainty we're about to play that shit for free on my abandonware, baby! And to finish off my trip, I decided to take a picture of this game called
Final Fantasy
3. You may have heard of it. It caught my eye, but what really caught my eye is the whopping $375 price tag on this, which is I can seriously get this for a third of the price for a better condition box. This is absolutely unacceptable. But that really does it for today's retro game store adventure, and of course it's not the last. So if you like this video and you want to join me on some more adventures like this, then be sure to like the video and subscribe as always. Until next time, I'm gonna go sell my kidneys to buy a PlayStation 2. See you later.